My girl was like rolling her tongue. She was so happy. And you will not believe what my baby was sleeping to. Even I myself, I was sleeping to. We're actually sleeping to. Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Judy Ego. On this channel we'll talk about motherhood, lifestyle, faith and vlogs. Yeah, that's what we do on this channel. And I'd like to thank everyone who has watched my previous video. I truly appreciate it. Thank you so much. God bless you. So we're not gonna waste so much time. We're just gonna dive right into today's video. And of course, you already know I started a series a few weeks back, and we're going to continue from where we stopped last week Sunday. So yeah. So in today's episode of What No One Tells You About Motherhood, I would like to talk about a struggle that I feel it's not talked about often. Yeah, that is not talked about often, and that is breastfeeding. Yes, breastfeeding can be a nightmare for some moms. Not everyone gets breastfeeding easy. Some people it takes time. Some people they get tired, they get fed up, and just resort to another solution, which is absolutely fine, which is normal. I did go on Google to check on how many percentage of women, of moms, struggle with breastfeeding, and trust me, it was a lot. It was a whole lot, and there are different reasons why a mom will struggle with breastfeeding. There are so many. For some, they don't produce enough breast milk. For some, the baby doesn't latch properly on the breast. I mean, there are so many reasons. So I'll just talk about my experience. So when I had my baby, my breast didn't come immediately. I mean, while I was in the hospital, it did not come. And when I got home, it came. And I noticed that whenever I put my baby on the breast, she struggled to just stay. I didn't realize she had tongue tie. It was one of her sweet grandmas that noticed that, and she was like, "Oh, Judith, your daughter's got tongue tie and you need to check this up." So on our next visit to the hospital, I requested for the tongue tie to be cut, and they did that. And when I got home, it was blissful. At least for that time, it was blissful. She latched properly on the breast, and it was a beautiful journey. But after a while, she stopped staying on the breast, so it was like back to zero again, and it was so draining. It was so draining. So I told my head visitor at the time, and she referred me to a breastfeeding class. Yeah. So when I got there, one of the ladies asked me to show her how I breastfeed my baby, and I did that, and she was like, "Oh, you're doing it properly, you're doing everything that's right." So she does not see any reason why she shouldn't latch properly on the breast, only for her to get my baby off my hands. And she was just looking at her, and she was like, "Oh, your baby still got tongue tie." And I was like, "They cut it already." And she said, "Oh, it wasn't done properly, and you have to like do it again if you really want to breastfeed her." So I was like, "Okay, no problem, I'm up for it." But at the same time, I was not happy about it because of the pain she has to like go through again. But surprisingly, on that day they did it. She only cried for like a little while, and after that my girl was like rolling her tongue. She was so happy. Like I was shocked at how brave she was. She was flapping her tongues up and down, and she couldn't do that Like prior to that second cotton, she couldn't do any of that. She was lifting her tongue, and it made her so happy. Like she, in her head, she's like, I can do this. And it was so nice. So um when we got back home, I tried putting on the breast, but I think she was too tired from um um trying to just put her there. So like she was like, nah, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. So I didn't bother to stress her. I just, I pumped and I was giving to her. But you cannot compare pumping to, like, the baby sucking the breast is a whole different thing. And I was like, nah, I'm not gonna starve my girl because I want her to be on breast milk. So I gave her formula, yes, and life became much easier for both of us. So that's one of the struggles. That was my struggle, and a whole lot of moms pass through the struggle. And don't let anyone shame you for, doing what's best for you and your child. That's all I have to say. So that's one of the struggle. The second one, I wouldn't say is a struggle, but before you become a mom, just be just know that you're going to get so many advices, like so many. Some will be coming from, a very good place. Some is just to like shame you. Yeah, there are people like that. So yeah, so what I have to say on this particular one is that know your baby, give yourself time, give yourself grace. You just had a baby. You obviously need time to start getting used to the baby, having a routine for the baby and all of that. So moms, give yourself grace. Give yourself grace. You owe that to yourself. Honestly, you owe that to yourself to be fine, to be good for your child and for yourself and for everyone around you, honestly. So give yourself enough time to get to know your baby. Like I had so many advices, yes, so many, and I knew some were coming from a good place, and I tried those ones. Some of the things I tried was that I know I've mentioned earlier that my baby was sleeping throughout the day and was being awake at night. And in those nights, like she'll cry so much. I never realized that she had colic. And yes, moms, your baby is gonna have colic. Like, I don't know if it's every child, but babies have colic. And colic is when a baby is crying and like there's no obvious reasons why the baby is crying, and they cry and they bring their legs to their tummies almost as if they're having like stomach pain. That's what colic is, and there are medications to help you with that. Yes, there are medications. So speak to your doctor about it. If your baby is crying for a very long period of time, babies cry. Is very normal for babies to cry, but when your baby is crying for a very long period of time and there's nothing pacifying that baby, then I think you should speak to your doctor about it. Those nights when my baby cried, some people told me to like go on YouTube and play baby songs, smoothing songs that will make the baby sleep and all of that. My girl did not sleep to any of that, and I was so happy that I did not stick to just one advice. I had to do I had to research for myself as well. So I was trying different things, and you will not believe what my baby was sleeping to. Even I myself, I was sleeping to. We're actually sleeping to. So what I noticed that could, get us to bed quicker was Apostle Selma's preaching. Like he's preaching those long ones, those really long ones, and I would just like reduce the volume very low, and I had peace in my heart, and I think my baby had peace as well, because you just see her fall asleep and me, I'm sleeping as well. So that really helped us. Every of those other advice did not help us. I know it helps other moms, but it did not help me. But yeah, know what advice to take and try things out for yourself. Figure things out for yourself. Give yourself time. Don't pressure yourself. Don't pressure yourself. And the last thing I'm going to be talking about in today's video is pacifiers. I had so many what's it called, so many bad things about pacifier, but I didn't mind. I gave it to my baby anyways. And the funny thing is that some people told me that it was going to delay her speech, but the funny thing is that she started talking like really early. Yeah, she started saying things really early. And there was one day we were in church, and I don't take her to the baby session, I stay with her in the big church. So we were in church and the pastor said something and everybody responded. After that, she said the same thing that everybody said, and my goodness, people were shocked. They turned back and they were looking at her like, how old is this child? How old is she? So she's very vocal. And I can remember one time I was traveling with her and we were in the train and she was crying seriously, and I was just trying to pacify her to, calm down. And there was an elderly man standing next to me, and he came over to help me out. And he was we got talking, and he was like, oh, he has a granddaughter same age as my daughter. So we started talking about, I don't know, somehow started talking about pacifiers. And I was like, oh, I was told that when your baby has got a pacifier, it delays their speech and all of that. I was like, oh, that's nonsense, because his girls, his first daughter, she didn't have pacifier on and she had like speech delay. She didn't talk on time. But the second one, she had pacifier on till like she was like 3 years old. She stopped it on her own, and she's an actress. Like, she started talking way before anyone expected her to talk. So do what's best for your child. Know your child. Yes, know your child, and do what's best for your child. Don't stress yourself unnecessarily and stress your child unnecessarily because of what people have to say. So yeah, that's all I've got in this episode of What No One Tells You About Motherhood. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.